Yeah, I know. Y'all probably saying, hold up, bitch. Let's not forget that you didn't do last week's episode. I have a good reason. And the reason for which I did not do last week's episode is because, shit, it was Thanksgiving, motherfuckers, and it was a very, very short ass week. So my black ass had to decide whether it was going to be get ready for my family who was going to be here at my house for a Thanksgiving get together, and to finish out all the other videos that you guys have clearly seen that I've been uploading on this channel, as well as my daily vlog channel, The Socialite Life TV. I've also been blogging like a crazy woman on my blog, TheSocialiteLife.com. I will leave all of those down below so y'all can check them out. And if you guys want to subscribe to our daily vlog channel, you should, because we're doing Vlogmas over on the other channel, which is my daily vlog channel, where we're going to be vlogging everything we do for the holidays. And then you'll understand how much I put out and why I couldn't get to the Real Housewives of Atlanta recap, because shit, like I said, the week was short because my hubby was here. When my hubby came here, he became number one priority. So, that being said, yo bitch is back to do this coming Real Housewives of Atlanta recap, okay? And unless something else comes up, we're gonna continue on with all the recaps from this point forward. Of course, thumbs up this video while you sitting up and through this motherfucker for me doing the recap and shit. And if you want to see more, keep the thumbs up going, okay? And if you're sitting here for the very first time checking out these videos, make sure you hit that motherfucking subscribe button, okay? Get that subscribe button hit, and welcome to the fam bam, okay? I'll leave all links for everything that I mentioned down below. But yeah, I apologize. I didn't get a chance to do last week's episode. Family comes first, y'all. I had to be here for my family, but I hope you guys have enjoyed the 800 other videos your girls put work into that she done put out this last week, okay? Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So first up, we start off with old messy ass Kenya, okay? And her ass is walking down the street. Now, when I saw her start with being on the phone, walking down the street, I had a funny ass motherfucker feeling her ass was going to Sheree's shack, okay? And so that's exactly what the fuck she was doing. So she's on the phone, I think, with Cynthia, telling her, guess where I'm going, girl? Yeah, girl, I'm finna go borrow some sugar, whatever the fuck bullshit she said, talking about I'm finna go check out Sheree's damn house, right? And it just so happens to be Sheree was outside and she was all sweeping on her front porch and shit, looking like she's doing some shit on the motherfucking property. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you about that in a minute, because now she walks up, this is Kenya, talking about some, hey girl, and Sheree's like, oh shit, bitch, okay. This bitch is messy old bitch is coming over to my motherfucking house. So, of course, Kenya's like, how you doing, girl? And they get to talking and shit. And she's like, oh my God, bitch, this house is even bigger in person, like up front, right? And I mean, for real, when they panned around the house, I was like, damn, this motherfucker, I see why the motherfucker couldn't finish the shit. The shit is fucking huge. So messy ass Kenya's gonna try to make a dash for the motherfucking door, right? Kenya's ass showed up in some motherfucking sneakers and shit, right? So Kenya runs to the front door. Now, when she ran to the front door, that door was locked, okay? Then Sheree is all behind her talking about some this. Oh my God, right? Then Kenya darts back to the back of the house, books it past Sheree's ass, and goes to the back of the house. So clearly, if she got into the house or could have gotten into the house, we would have seen her ass in the motherfucking house. Guarantee you that shit was locked up too, right? So next thing you know, they sitting up behind the house and she's all like, oh my God, your house looks amazing. But here is where I was tripping just a tad bit. I want to know why the doors were locked and how and why come when Kenya's ass started to book it for the front door. I feel like Sheree, I just felt like shoulda really didn't know if the door was unlocked or not. Like, I almost feel like that whole scene of her being up in front of her motherfucking shack, you know, sweeping up on the porch was some bullshit, that the bitch really don't have the motherfucking keys to the house and that she really hadn't been up in that bitch at all. And when Kenya's old messy ass tried to walk up on that bitch, she wasn't sure if the door was gonna be locked or unlocked. You feel me where I'm going with this? Like, I know supposedly that it is her house and shit, but all this time she ain't ever finished the motherfucker. So does she really have access to the shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, was she up in that bitch? I mean, usually if you sweep in the front porch, your door is gonna be unlocked, at least in the front or wherever it is you came up out of. You know what I'm saying? To come out to sweep the front porch. So I have to wonder why the doors were locked. You know what I'm saying? So course, Kenya went to the back and not named one of them. I mean, if it was unlocked, the bitch would have gotten inside. She would have made it a point to go inside, right? So I have to question, for real, if shoulda for real has access to the house, or if she was just out there fronting like she's been doing all this motherfucking time. So anyway, let me know if y'all peeped that. It just came across to me like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so then Kenya's messy ass is gonna be like, oh my God, your house is huge, and I'm trying to get up in my house by Christmas, and of course, Sugar's like, yeah, me too, and Kenya's old silly ass is like, oh my God, I mean, do you really think you're gonna do that? And she was like, okay, we gonna make a bet, okay? And basically the bet was that one of them was gonna get their house finished, okay? Whoever got their house finished first wins whatever the fuck bet, okay? Okay, a bitch was motherfucking hot, and her hubby just came home, okay? He in the background, Okay, so then here's the other thing that made me feel like it was a little suspect as hell. I just feel like, I just don't know how involved Shoulda's really with her shack being built at this point, like at this very moment, right? So here goes Kenya asking her what she got in the house, and she was like, well, do you have flooring in? And here goes Shoulda's ass, and her ass is all like, nope. Like, I felt like there was some hesitation in her response to Kenya asking that question. Like, my shit is like, if you are actually in the process right now of doing something to this crib, right? And you're all in the midst of whatever the fuck you doing. When someone asks you a question like that, you just gonna know. Like, nah, I don't have no damn flooring, but we got this and we working on that. You're gonna have a different type of answer. Your answer's gonna be a little bit smoother than that. But the fact that she was like the hesitation, bitch, spit it out. You should know this shit if if you actually in the process of fixing this shit. Okay, I just feel like I said, does Shoulda really have access to her crib? I don't really know. Okay, supposedly whoever wins this motherfucking bet is gonna clean the other motherfucker's house. Here's my thing, okay? Regardless of Shoulda's shack, okay, I'm gonna need Kenya to focus a little bit on her shit, because we already know, her track record with realty. And, she done got evicted from her last place, publicly on Real Housewives a couple seasons ago. So I'm gonna really need her to just focus on trying to get up in her house before she becomes another Shoulda. You feel me? Okay, so either way, she went ahead and invited Shoulda to some kind of shit she's gonna have for Cynthia, because poor Cynthia is going through marital problems, right? And it's so funny to me, because as much as Kenya's ass be trying to make it seem as though she's Cynthia's close friend and they're best friends or whatever the fuck, right? That bitch sure as hell puts all her damn business in the street, talking about this is gonna be kind of a little bachelorette weekend for Cynthia, and Shoulda's like, I don't know what the fuck, why would she need a bachelor weekend? And she's like, oh, well, her and Peter are having problems. Bitch, you don't have to go in through do all of that shit. Just invite her to motherfucking Lake Netwood and keep it the fuck pushing. But to put she continuously puts all of everybody's business in the street, but this is your best friend, look, bitch. Anyway, so she invites Shoulda to this shit, and I guess Shoulda's like, oh, we might be able to be friends because she's such good friends with Cynthia. I was like, bitch, bye. Next scene, we've got Porsha's ass and Phaedra meeting up to go to some little sex toy, sex lingerie type shop or whatever, because Porsha wants to get a little something for her and gay ass Duke's FaceTime, okay? And so I guess she wanted to go up in there and get something a little scantily clad, a little sexified and shit. So Phaedra meets her ass up there and shit. So they walking around and shit. Both of them looking extra bootylicious and shit. And I guess Porsha's sitting there talking about how she's trying to get a little something that she can put on for their little FaceTime sessions, because, he's at camp and shit, and she needs to keep the sex shit going and keep himself thinking of her and shit. And again, I say, I really don't really know about this brother, because when she had her little sip and see if his ass was gay party, I felt like he had a couple of extra spoonfuls of sugar in his tank. And so I'm sure everybody else noticed too, and it sounds as though Phaedra noticed as well, because she made a little comment like she felt like Porsha was doing a little bit more than the rest of us would to try to impress upon said man. However, Phaedra was, of course, being supportive and shit all while she's looking around for her shit because, I don't know who the fuck she courting right now, but supposedly when they went up to the front desk and, of course, Porsha got her little diamond-encrusted bustier and her little schoolgirl skirt. Miss Phaedra Porks had a little something that she was buying too, bought herself a little unitard type of situation. And it looked like one that I personally own myself. Either way, we won't talk about that. We talk about her, okay? But what I want to know is who the fuck is she gonna wear that shit for? Because I don't really know that she would wear that shit for herself, especially when you know what it looked like. I'm just saying. So next up, we got Kandi, who her doctor pretty much told her to take it easy. So she's at home working from home, okay? She goes ahead and gives a call to Mr. Don Juan, the messiest of all messy motherfuckers that don't have a peach on the motherfucking show. And of course, he's all like, how you feeling and what you doing? And she's all like,
I'm working from the house today.
And of course, after she done told him she's about 4.5 months, I think, at that point, he gonna be like, okay, we keeping the weight good, we keeping it down, because I've seen other motherfuckers and they should be looking all big at around that time. So praise God that you keeping your weight down because you have a food addiction. I was like, see, that messy nigga, but he funny as a motherfucker though. And then she was like, meetings adjourned and kept it moving. So after Kandi gets off the phone with Mr. Don Juan, now Cynthia pulls up because she's coming over to visit, and they go ahead and have a little sit down, little chit chat type of situation because I guess she's trying to update her on whatever the fuck is going on with Peter's ass because they done had a talk in last week's episode. And then of course a checkup on Kandi, right? So of course Cynthia's like, how's everything going and what's been going on and how are you doing with the pregnancy? And of course Kandi's letting her know what's going on with the fibroid situation, how it's affecting her pregnancy, and how her doctor's been telling her to, take it easy and to relax and chill, but we have a lot of shit going on and we got stuff popping off. And Cynthia's ass like, look, dude, you really, really need to take a chill pill, like put that shit on hold. And Kandi goes ahead and starts letting her know all that they have going on, talking about some,
it's just really hard because at the end of the day, we gotta keep our businesses going.
Now, even though Cynthia's ass is like, well, hold up though. You need to calm the fuck down. Like, this is probably not the best time to do all of this shit. But at the same token, Cynthia was like, well, shit, I already been through this, you know what I mean? When Peter done bought a damn building without my motherfucking permission and shit to open up whatever the fuck he was finna open up. I supported his ass. So she basically was like, well, I get it. I feel you, but you still need to chill the fuck out. So that, of course, leads into Cynthia going into the situation with her and Peter and how she's like, look, I'm afraid of just growing old and being by my damn self. And I sure as hell I'm not gonna grow old and not be happy. And of course, Kandi's letting her know, like, are you sure about that? Like, the last thing you want to do is be unhappy, but where are y'all at this point? Of course, Cynthia's like, right now as it stands, like, I don't know really what's gonna happen because his ass is never home. He was in Charlotte at the time when she came over and talking about his side of the bed's never made now because his ass is always over in Charlotte, and I never told his ass to make a restaurant or bring a restaurant out to Charlotte. And it's so crazy about this shit is that they've only been married, like, it really hit me right then when she said to Kandi that they've only been married for 5 damn years. So if you really think about all the bullshit over these last few seasons that they've gone through, from the financial shit and the businesses opening and closing and moving and all the surprises Peter done throughout at Cynthia, you would be tired of that shit too if you really think about it. Like, 5 years, they're super young in the marriage for them to have gone through so motherfucking much. So hell yeah, she gonna be sick of that shit. So Kandi, of course, is like, hey, well, let me know what happens, but you just gotta be patient, see what happens, and just hope that it gets better from here. We've got Phaedra and Kim Fields. Kim Fields is coming over with the kiddos, her 2 kids, for a little play date with Phaedra and her kids. And I guess Phaedra done set up a lifeguard or swimming coach or whatever the fuck to come and teach the kids how to swim and pretty much supervise while they have some one-on-one time, okay? So Kim Fields shows up with the kiddos. The kids are all situated and they have a little sit down and they just rapping a taste. And of course, Phaedra's like, I knew you from the rooter to the toot, Miss Tootie, okay? And with you being such an iconic figure, who do you hang with, right? And I guess Kim is all like, yeah, well, I hang out with Bartholomew and Quincy or whatever the fuck their names is, her kids, okay? And sometimes Chris, I guess Chris was his name, I think it was, her husband. And that's pretty much it. Like, she don't have no friends. And y'all know the last episode that her hubby was like, bitch, you ain't got no friends. Like, your son's friends don't count as your friends, okay? So it's clear as day that clearly she's a loner, okay? And her husband done pointed that out last episode. So, of course, Phaedra's like, well, you gotta have somebody to break bread with or hang out with, you know, get away from the kids with or whatever. And Kim's like, nah, I don't really do that. And the next thing you know, Kim is all like, what I really want to know or really get to is why there was so much titty out, okay? So I guess at the hot box party that Kenya threw, I guess she was referring to the fact that everybody's titties was out and how she felt like people just lacked class because they titties was out. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with them motherfucking titties. And from what I remember of Kim Field's outfit, she was showing a little cleave line as well. Her shit wasn't no damn turtleneck, I'll tell you that. I mean, the bitch's arms was out. I mean, are we really doing that? Are we really doing that, Kim? You want Real Housewives of Atlanta though? And you want to play anyway. So, of course, Phaedra's like, yes, child, you know, just because you got it don't mean you got to use it. I'm like, bitch, your little silicone ass with your little puffed up titties sit up just like them other motherfuckers and are out just as much as them other motherfuckers, okay? So now Phaedra's trying to go in a little deeper with Miss Kim, okay? And I guess she was talking about how she told herself, you know, when she got married that she wasn't going to lose herself in the marriage and not lose herself when she had kids, and that she was going to make it a point to make sure that she goes to get her nails done and her hair done and to keep herself up and do things that make her happy so she wouldn't lose herself within her marriage and with the kids, okay? So she starts talking about that. So then she asks Kim, well, what makes you tick? What makes you happy to get up every day? And you know, what is it that makes you happy? What's going to make you satisfied, right? And then all of a sudden you look over at Kim and they pan over to her and her eyes are all watery and shit. And she doing the Olivia Pope, talking about some okay? And this bitch is about to cry, okay? So she's all like,
I lost myself and I didn't know it until you brought this up.
Look at old Phaedra's old psychologist ass already breaking this bitch within the first 30 seconds. They having conversations. I'm like, damn, that took 5.2 seconds to get this bitch to cry. Okay, so my thing is, I guess this makes me look a little bit more into why Kim would do the show, because this entire time I'm like, why the fuck would you, after you already having had a legacy and already having had a good reputation in the street, why would you come on Real Housewives of Atlanta and possibly tarnish that reputation? Do you see what I'm saying? I was trying to figure out why the fuck, outside of money, she would come on this motherfucking show. And clearly, after they got the chit-chat and they went to Kim's confessional and she's like, yeah, I just realized that I don't really have nobody. I don't have no friends. I done lost myself. And maybe I can meet some new friends and maybe Phaedra could be my new one. Like, clearly, Kim has issues. And clearly, she came on the show. I mean, I'm sure money was a part of it, and word on the street is money. It was a big part of why she came on the show. But clearly, she probably just looking for some new friendships. I don't know. But the bitch seemed desperate. We won't go much further. We gonna see what else happens, because I already know there's some more shit, and I already know she gonna say some more shit that I need to address later on. Next up, we in Porsha's house. It's gonna be real quick. So we in Porsha's house right now because she's getting ready with her little diamond bra and shit to FaceTime, I guess, Duke's gay ass, right? So she's sitting there and basically texting, talking about some, hey boo, what's good? Call me back or hit me or whatever. And he's like, I'm in meetings. Next thing you know, an hour later, she still ain't heard from the motherfucker. So she calls up Phaedra and is like, I've been sitting here for an hour waiting on Duke's old soft ass to call me back or to hit me, okay? And Phaedra's like, look, bitch, the thrill is gone, motherfucker. Knowing damn well Phaedra's ass is probably thinking the same thing I am, that his ass, you know what I'm saying, is suspect as hell, okay? But instead, she tells Porsha that the thrill is gone and shit, if he ain't lifting your ass up, he's a noose around your neck or whatever the fucking bullshit she done, whatever southern shit she done said, okay? So that was pretty much all of that scene. Now we over at, I think, Cynthia's house because Kenya's over there to come and pick up Cynthia to go to this little thing on the boat. Her, Kenya's soiree on the boat and shit. And so she goes over to Cynthia's house and shit. And Cynthia done invited her friend Tammy, okay, to come on this excursion, okay? So they get in the car. Tammy's old man-sounding ass, okay, is trying to put her shoes on and switch her shoes and shit, and Kenya's sitting there like, bitch, what are those? And she's all like,
ballerinas have ugly feet.
bitch! When I heard that bitch's voice, I was like, damn. Then this same bitch at some point in the conversation is gonna ask, what the fuck is throwing shade? And I guess they done told her what the fuck is going on with shade and what it is and shit. And then they figured out whatever code they were gonna use so they could go ahead and let each other know when someone's actually throwing shade. And that's pretty much their scene right this minute. Now we've got Kandi's car, who she's falling asleep in the back of the ride, right? And she's on her way to go pick up, or her car is on the way to go pick up Kim. So Kim comes in, she's like, oh my God, hey, beautiful. And they go ahead and parlay a bit, and she's all like, I really want to get to know you, Kandi, and this, that, and the third, right? Because she's trying to find some new friends, okay? So, anyway, so they get to talking and shit, and she's like, I really admire you as an entrepreneur, and this is Kim talking to Kandi, and of course, Kandi's talking about her business and how she kind of came up with the idea and shit, and of course, Kim's all like, how did you come up with all of that stuff? And Kandi's all like, she just wanted somebody to kind of piggyback off of Candy Coated Nights because they already had a fan following there. So next thing you know, they went from one product to having over 100 products. And then of course, Kim's like,
well, I really have been really interested in trying something, but I've just been hesitant to try it.
And of course, Kandi's like, you're trying to find and figure out something new to try. You want to try some new shit, And so Kim's like, yeah, So of course, Kandi's ass is like,
the vibrating panties, that would be fun.
And then Kim's old, I'm trying to bring the class back ass comes back talking about, well, I don't really wear underwear. They're overrated. I don't like wearing it. And then after that, she goes on to say that she's really loud in bed. I'm like, just about 2 scenes ago, your ass was talking about trying to bring the class back to Atlanta. And bitch, you just told all your business to everybody in the world about how loud you are in bed and the fact that you don't wear that doesn't make any sense. And then I got the impression that her ass was kind of just changing her personality based on whoever the fuck she's around because she's trying to get some friends real quick. We go back to Kenya's car with Cynthia and the low-sounding bitch. And it turns out as they're having a conversation, it's discovered that Cynthia's manly-sounding bitch friend is the best friend of Shooter's ex-husband Bob, and they've been best friends for like 15 years and shit. So of course Kenya's ears are all perked up, eyes all wide and shit, because she's like, oh shit, we about to get all kinds of tea, right? After this bitch just said she don't know how to throw shade. So we just gonna fast forward through a couple of these car scenes because they're completely irrelevant, okay? So now they're at the boat, okay? Kenya's car gets there first, so they're greeted by the 3 shirtless men, and they're starting to get the little cocktail on, of course. And then Porsha and all the rest of them have to show up. And I guess Porsha has her little friend Shamia, who you already know tried to shade Kenya at the hot box party in the last episode, okay? So Kenya ain't really too fond of her, which is probably why Porsha's whole messy ass brought her ass too, okay? So, of course, when they greet each other, Kenya's like, hey, bitch, I didn't invite your ass, right? So, of course, when Kandi asks if there's anybody else coming, that's when Kenya decided to say in front of this Shamia bitch, hey, I didn't invite you. I invited y'all, but I didn't invite you, bitch, right? Kenya's ass says that. Portia's like, look, bitch, Phaedra's not coming because she got a kid that's sick, so I think we can accommodate her. So it's all good. And my understanding was that it was kind of an open invitation. So since Phaedra's not here, then Shamumu's going to take her place. Then the introductions continue on, and now Tammy's being introduced to Kandi, who automatically says,
Kandi, you may not remember me, but when you was in Escape, we met.
And he's like, bitch, I'm not gonna remember your ass. So I guess now Kenya's gonna go ahead and show everybody what's gonna happen on the boat. So the first place is the manicure station, or the pedicure station actually. And of course, Kenya's old messy ass goes ahead and calls out that Tammy bitch and says, bitch, you first, okay? Go ahead and sit your ass down in the pedicure chair and get them feet worked on, okay? All the same time, in the same breath, telling Miss Kim that her ass is 50 years old or some shit because of some shit that they were talking about regarding shade. And I was like, Kim, check this bitch. And she did, okay, in the sweetest way possible, okay? She was like, you're going to the depths of hell. I'm 46. I was like, okay, go ahead, boo. Go ahead. So now there's just a few of them left in the little pedicure area. And that horse bitch is gonna go right to Kandi and be like,
I'm sure you heard my son's song, right?
meanwhile, everybody's sitting there looking at this bitch like she's absolutely batshit crazy, right? And then they gonna ask her what song it is that he sang. And this bitch is gonna be like,
Drop, hey, turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up.
and then in that same motherfucking breath, this bitch is gonna be like,
The point is, I need my son to get in the studio with you.
okay, so fast forward. Everybody's having them some drinks and shit, okay? And I guess basically, the blonde bitch goes in the water. She gets to swimming. Shamia's had a couple drinks or whatever. Shaniqua, she done had her some drinks. And she goes to sliding down a slide and shit. You know, everyone's turning up or whatever the fuck. So I guess, you know, Shaniqua comes out the water and she's all wet and shit. So, of course, Kandi's like, go grab her a towel. And they grab this life preserver type of situation that looked like a towel. And of course, you know, Shanika says, yeah, like, that's fake, like the products that you had, that Kenya had at her party. And I was like, really, bitch? You on the bitch's boat? You trying to earn you a peach too, bitch? Like, for real though? So I don't know for sure if Kenya heard that or not. They made it look as though she had. However, it seemed like she was too far for her to have heard that shit. Either way, next thing you know, they're all having a little powwow, and Porsha's having her little moment with Cynthia. You think that everything's gonna be cool with them and shit. And then, of course, Kenya's old messy ass starts this shit, talking about some, yeah, everyone seemed to be really cool. I appreciate the fact that everyone was so patient with me at the hot box party. But the only motherfucker who came out with some shade was this bitch, and she points at Shaniqua. Okay, so now Shaniqua wants to get in with Kenya, talking about some, look, if I'm at a party and there's supposed to be product there, I'm expecting there's gonna be product in the motherfucking bottles. And then Kenya's like, whatever, bitch. And then Shanitha is like, whatever, congratulations, Miss America, or whatever the fuck. And now Kenya's heated, okay? So now the bitch wants to kick the bitch off the motherfucking boat, talking about some, I'm finna go to the captain and get this bitch off my boat. So now, as Kenya's going to the captain to say, I need to escort this bitch off my boat, Cynthia's like, let me just go ahead and calm this motherfucker down, right? Let me go ahead and check up on her and see what's good, right? And of course, Kandi's like, yeah, you know, go get your best friend, because that's y'all's best friend, because y'all know earlier on the boat, you know, Kenya made some big ass grandiose speech talking about that's they best friends, okay? So that's why Kandi made the dig, like, yeah, because y'all are best friends at this point. And of course, Cynthia's like, shut up, bitch, you know, shut up, Kandi, right? She didn't say shut up, bitch, she said shut up, Kandi. But then in the same breath, Porsha's like, yeah, because you're her best friend. Yeah, you're her best friend, right? So you need to go handle that because you the best friend, right? And then Cynthia gets up and makes some snide remark or whatever the fuck, some sideways ass type remark, talking about some, yeah, I mean, there's some questionable best friends up in here, you know, or some other shit, whatever the fuck shit she said. And then Porsha's ass like, who, bitch? And next thing you know, Cynthia's like, don't ever motherfucking call me out my name. I'm like, okay, yo, drunk ass needs to calm the fuck down, because to me it didn't come across like Porsha was trying to even say anything derogatory, because they were just fine right before that. She was just like, I mean, you know what I mean, playfully calling her bitch. Like, I really don't think that Porsha was trying to be an asshole, okay? But drinks, I think, took every bit, a part of Cynthia's ass and took over at this point. And so now it's like, you not gonna call me out my name? That's disrespectful as hell. And then, of course, shit starts from there. Cynthia done went to the other side of the boat, and I guess they done convinced Porsha, go and talk to her real quick. Because Porsha's like, shit, I'm fucking confused. I wasn't even trying to be derogatory. I wasn't trying to say anything shady. I mean, shit, we use this shit as terms of endearment or whatever the fuck. So they finally convinced her ass to go over to Cynthia. Wrong move, because the bitch is obviously drunk and everybody's been having some drinks. So clearly there's going to be a little bit of that influence over the whole situation. So Porsha goes and sits down right up in front of Cynthia and is like, dude, I didn't mean any of that shit. I mean, for real. But Cynthia's all like, yeah, bitch, they call your dumbass for a reason, bitch. All fingers all in her face. You already knew Porsha was going to go there. Next thing you know, Porsha's ass is like, oh, that's how you want to be, bitch? That's how you want to be, bitch? And then it was it. That was a wrap. Next thing I see is a foot flying across like they done hit Cynthia's ass. You know, Porsha done hit Cynthia's ass in her stomach, and motherfuckers breaking shit up. So Lord only knows how the fuck and who the fuck got the first hit in. I feel like it was Porsha, but we already knew it was probably going there because you could tell Porsha was just, she was getting hot under the collar. Look, that's pretty much where the fuck they left that shit. So we gonna see whatever the fuck happens in the next episode, okay? I'm disappointed in Cynthia, I'm not gonna lie, but I do want to know whose side y'all are on. Do you think that what Porsha said was meant to be derogatory and disrespectful? Do you agree with Cynthia or do you agree with Porsha? Are y'all team Cynthia or team Porsha? And let me know down below why you are either one of the teams, okay? Because I'm curious. Me, myself, and I am personally team Porsha. Porsha didn't mean shit. I mean, my God, really? Like, the way Cynthia took it, I felt like she took it a little bit too far. But y'all let me know. Maybe there was something that I saw or, didn't see or didn't hear that y'all might have seen that might make y'all team Cynthia, okay? So, anyway, that's pretty much it. You guys know I'll be back with another Real Housewives of Atlanta recap next week. Again, I apologize. I didn't get it done last week, but y'all, family comes first, and it was Thanksgiving. Just like I'm sure you guys wanted to spend with your family, I wanted to spend with my boo-boo and them as well, okay? But just know that we're going to be doing Real Housewives of Atlanta's recaps from this point forward unless something else comes up, which I will always let y'all know about. Thumbs up this video if you love seeing these videos from your girl and you already know what to do. As always, follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/SocialiteSandy. Hit me up on my Facebook fan page and my Pinterest page. Those links are down below. Hit me up on my blog, TheSocialiteLife.com, and hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, and Periscope at SocialiteSandy, SANDE. And you already know I love y'all, and I will see y'all in the next video. Love y'all. Bye.